Many Christians involved in prayer as a monologue, where they only talk to God, but they don't hear from God. If I may ask you, the last time you prayed, what was the answer you got from your prayer? Because prayer is a means of communication. It's a dialogue. As I'm talking to you now, you can hear me. It gets to a time you need to respond, either by gesticulation or by words. We have the verbal and the non-verbal communication. Either by your body language, nodding your head, or you respond with your mouth. Am I communicating? That's communication. You responded. That's what makes communication. If one person is talking and the other is not responding, it's a monologue. And that do not define communication. So, you need to also understand that as much as prayer is a dialogue, praying in tongues is a dialogue. So when you're praying in tongues, your spirit needs to be open to hear from God. You need to get answer from God. You don't just pray in tongues and walk out of the place of prayer. Because nobody ever walks up to you and talk and walk out of your presence. It's a sign and signal of disrespect. And many Christians are disrespecting God in the place of prayer, where we do all the talking and we walk out of the place of prayer, nothing to hold on to. So, in praying in tongues, your spirit must be alive. Your heart must be open to hear, to receive from God. God begin to drop things in your hearts. Your ears must be open. Praying in tongues is not a mechanical, carnal activity in the place of prayer. It's not a mechanical, carnal activity in the place of prayer. Many Christians think that, as soon as you just start prayer, you begin to pray in tongues. No, praying in tongues is rooted, activated, prompted, driven by the Holy Ghost. It's not mechanical, it's not carnal. It's driven by the Holy Ghost. In Acts chapter 2, it is in the place of prayer that this is being activated. It's in the place of prayer that the Spirit comes and stir up. Acts chapter 2 verse 4. And they were all filled with the Holy Ghost and began to speak with other tongues as the Spirit gave them utterance. The utterance comes by the Spirit. It is not mechanical. It's not carnal. It's not being practiced. It is not being imitated. It's quite unfortunate these days that people can learn how to pray in tongues. It's not being learned. It's being prompted. It's being stirred up. It is the Spirit that gives the utterance. It's the Spirit that lays the language in your tongue. When praying in tongues, you must pray with understanding. So be sure that you get results of the prayer. 1 Corinthians chapter 14. 1 Corinthians 14, verse 14 and 15. In verse 14 of 1 Corinthians chapter 14, in verse 14 and 15, for if I pray in an unknown tongue, my spirit prayeth. My spirit prayeth, but my understanding is unfruitful. But what is it then? I will pray with the Spirit, and I will pray with understanding also. So there must be the place of understanding in praying in the Spirit, where your heart is connected to the need. Except the Holy Ghost takes over you such that there is a need at that time that needs to be met in the place of prayer, and it stirs up your spirit to ensure. Now you need to understand this about praying in tongues. Basically, prayer is a dialogue and not a monologue. That's the basis of prayer. It's a dialogue that involves the communication, the conversation, the relationship, the communion between you and God. You know, we've been told that prayer is talking to God and hearing from God. That's not the basic definition of prayer, but let me not go there. I'm okay with that. If that's what you know about prayer, I'm okay with that. I've told you before now that communication in the sense that talking to God and hearing from God is just a part of the definition of prayer. It's not the totality of the definition of prayer, because prayer is first a relationship with God. It's a relationship. An integral part of relationship is communication. Prayer is a fellowship and a communion with God. a relational aspect of prayer that has to do with communication, saying that it's a communication. That means to say you are talking to and you are hearing from. That's what defines communication. Talking to, hearing from. Encoding and decoding. Speaking and listening. Those are the basic ends of communication. That is to say that prayer is a dialogue and not a monologue.